mindset. How'd y'all do this week? Do you have anybody that wants to share how they did last week? Anybody over there?
Nothing yet.
All right, well, shout if you want to share, because I think that, like, what we're going to do today is I had people send me their minds or their limiting beliefs last week, and a couple of people that were like, "Were you serious?" Yes, I was dead serious. I was so serious. Yes, I have some limiting beliefs here, and that I printed out, and then some others that I didn't. But the reason why I didn't is because y'all have the same limiting beliefs, like the same ones. So, first I'm going to say, limiting beliefs hide. They come out when you least expect it. They come out when you've not had enough sleep. They come out when you're angry at somebody. They come out when you're feeling like crap because you only have $2 in the bank. They come out in the most dire of circumstances. That's when our limiting beliefs tend to come out. Or when we think we have tackled them all, and the universe says, "Oh no, but you forgot about this one." And so you want to be aware that they hide. And when you say one, it helps me if something comes out of my mouth, it helps me to go, "Oh, cancel that." Like, no. Because you don't want to energize that and then replace it with the right thing to say. Because once it comes out of our mouth, then you breathe life into it. So we want you to be very careful about your limiting beliefs. I also wanted to share these 2 cards with you. I've talked to you guys about our coach before, James Wedmore, but he has these cards that he sends his clients that are working through his program. And one of these is really funny. It says, "Just in case you forgot today, anything," I guess it's backwards to you guys, sorry. "Anything is effing possible." Anything. And I truly believe that. But you have to believe it. You have to believe it, and not from but that can't happen. Of course, we're not going to have popsicles for breakfast. That's possible, but not in my house. Oh, sorry, I kicked the camera. But anything is possible, and it sort of goes along with the growth mindset stuff that we talked about last week. biglifejournal.com for your kids, and we will have a full resource of everything that we use, everything that I think is super helpful. I just didn't get it done. So it will be in our newsletter this week. So make sure you're signed up for our email list, and you'll get it in our newsletter this week. And it will be an extensive list. I was going to make a page on our website about it because people ask us that question all the time. This is the other one that I like. It says, if you can't change the world, or you can't change the world if you can't change your mind. So I think about some of the warriors that I know we have on social media in the Waldorf world, in all kinds of capacities, some good, some irritating, some, but you can't change the world if you can't change your own mind. So think about that. I think that that's a good one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go through these limiting beliefs. Like I said, a lot of them are the same. So I would love it if you're listening live. I would love for you to, when I read them, type 1 if it's one that you've had. Type 2 if it's not. Just because we want to hear from you. Okay, this one I think was one that was the most fascinating to me, but also the most common. My limiting beliefs are that I won't have a career or time for my interests until my kids finish high school, and then I'll be free. Such a huge limiting belief. And when I asked for people to send them to me, I read that one over and over and over again. So, rubber meets the road, Mom. Here's the deal. You chose. Every day we choose. Every day we choose. We, especially if you're homeschooling, obviously we are homeschoolers, but if you're homeschooling, remember that you chose this. This right now is your career. You can do other things too. I mean, I do other things. Granted, my career is this, but I also do other things, For those of you who follow us and watch my stories, you probably know that I enjoy hand lettering. And that I'm not great at it, but I'm working on it and I'm loving it. I'm having fun doing it. I love to knit. I love to sew. I love to bullet journal. I love going to museums and hanging out by myself for 7 hours. I love hanging out with my husband. There are lots of things that I love to do that have absolutely zero to do with me being a mom. So that's a huge limiting belief that you have to decide, hey, wait a minute, I chose to do this right now. Because the flip side is you could send them to school. You could. It might not be what you want to do, but you could do it. It's absolutely in this, anything is, where'd the card go? It's in this realm of possibility. Anything is possible. So with that, when you decide, okay, but I don't want to do that, so I'm going to do this. So you got to get happy about this. You got to be excited about it. Yes, it's a huge labor of love. Any mom that homeschools has this huge labor of love going on. Huge. But as long as it's not from a place of fear, don't be homeschooling because you're afraid of what's going to happen to your kids at public school. That's not a reason to homeschool. You homeschool because you believe in this. Yeah.
Letitia Allen Loving says, I dreamed of doing what I'm doing, and this is my dream and career, along with sharing my personal love and interest.
Yes, that's the place we have to be in. Very good. It's the place we have to be in. Okay, so then this was the other very pervasive one that I got. I can't make decisions with confidence. Like, I kept getting that one over and over again. So I think that's there's two different reasons there. One, you probably have been questioned a lot in your life. You know, anybody that's got a 3-year-old has been questioned a lot, but I mean, like, by your 3-year-old. But you probably have had issues in your life where somebody continually, maybe it was a parent, maybe it was maybe your partner's that way, maybe a previous partner's this way, where they're constantly asking you why, and it chipped away at your confidence. The other reason why this might be an issue for you is if you are overthinking. So I want you to tattoo this on your brain. Overthinking is creating problems that don't exist. Period. There's not a but. There's not a comma. And it's okay to do it anyway. No, period. It creates problems that don't exist. So if you are struggling, you have to say to yourself, I'm overthinking this. How do you know if you're overthinking? So, like, you know if you're overthinking if you, if you are obsessed about it and it cannot let you go, or you can't let it go. So, you're thinking about, let's just say you're obsessed. Let's pick something. Overthinking school planning. I think that's a good one. A lot of moms overthink school planning and won't start because they think they're going to be bad at it, which is another limiting belief on here. They think they're going to be bad at it. They don't think they can homeschool properly. Gosh, why would they, all of these things, but you said you wanted to do it. You said you wanted to do it, but then your mind starts overthinking and it just goes on and on and on. And you've got the negative Nellies going on in the back of your head. And I think it's important and helpful to name them, to give it a name. No, you're not crazy. Excuse me. But give it a name, because here's what happens when you give it a name. When you give it a name, then you realize it's not you. Because when we have all that overthinking going on and that negative voice in the back of our head, we think that it's ours and we own it. But your God-realized self would never talk to you that way. Ever. So it's not you. So you have to decide what the name is. So I'm going to challenge you all. You don't have to send it to me, but you can if you want. I'm going to challenge you all to name that voice in your head. Name it.
She also says, I needed to hear that 2 weeks ago, writing this down now. When people give their unwanted opinions over and over.
Oh my goodness. You can just say, that is not part of my reality.
And repeat the overthinking quote. Again, please.
Overthinking is creating problems that don't exist. Think about that one. Don't overthink it. Because what happens when we overthink is we start to go, and what about this? And what about that? And this happens and that happens. And go for a walk or take a nap. Most of us that have little children cannot just take a nap. So go for a walk. Going for a walk is golden because it moves the brain. So when you go for a walk, your brain is just processing, and it processes better when you're on a walk. Processes better when you're moving your body. So again, overthinking is creating problems that don't exist. I tattoo it on your forehead. So also name that voice in your head. Because again, your God-realized self, your soul, your spirit would not talk to you the way you're allowing your mind to go. It wouldn't. Think about that. Like all the powers that be in the universe put you here right now with the soul in your body, with a brain in your head. That power did not say, oh, and I'm going to let you talk negative to yourself the whole time. Nope. So we don't want our kids to talk like that. I mean, one thing that's really helped me is, and who was it that I heard this from? It may have been Dr. Shannon Irvine, which she has a great podcast, drshannonirvine.com. I think it was her. And she recommended taking those negative thoughts and putting them onto somebody you love. Like, put it on your child. How does that make you feel then? And then the mother bear comes out and goes, oh, heck no, I'm not going to think that because that's horrible. But you have to stop yourself. You have to stop yourself and really decide, hey, wait a minute, I'm overthinking. And it's really good if you have a partner that you trust. You know, Eric and I trust each other, and he can overthink and I'll say, hey, stop that. And I can overthink and he'll tell me the same thing. It's done in love. And we know that it limits us if we are, if we are in that space. And fear is another one that limits so many people. So there's so much fear in these limiting beliefs, so much fear. I'm going to read some more of them. And I'm just going to go through them and read them, and then we'll talk about them. I am unable to be organized. I will fail at Waldorf and homeschooling. I could never keep a rhythm in our home. We can't move because grandparents would be upset. We moved anyway. I'm kind of a disturber in that way. I will always feel stressed and overwhelmed when raising children. Maybe I can have a life again and do what I enjoy when kids are older and out of the house. I will never be able to travel like I want to. I will probably quit homeschool because I won't be good at it. Oh my gosh, I got that one a few times too. I will never have enough money to do the extras. I am afraid. I will never have a career. Fear will always be part of my life and slow me down. My own personal health will never improve, and I will need to live with constant pain. I know that's one that is a very real. It's very real for a lot of our families that work with us, and I get it. I was in so much pain after my stroke sometimes, and I still am if I don't keep my thoughts and my body moving. You got to keep it moving. I am not enough. I am not a good mom. I am terrible at follow through, so I shouldn't start new things. I quit everything. I am weak. I need to present myself a certain way to be acceptable. That's so sad. Don't do that. I should quiet my voice and not speak up so I don't offend people. And others always come before me. So I want to say I was really surprised at how many were common in the moms that wrote to me. And I think that what I want to say to all of you is, one, I love you, and I think that you can do anything you decide. Anything. You just have to decide that that's what you want to do. So whether it be, if you're sitting there thinking again that you can't do what you want to do because you have all these kids, well, ask yourself. Instead of saying I can't, say how can I? How can I? So you want to do something, you want to, maybe you just want to have 30 minutes a week to read a book that you want to read. So say how can I? Did you have something over there?
Oh, Natisha says the first half I have overcame, and then the second half I heard some that pop up here and there.
Yeah. I think that that we have these societal pressures that we allow ourselves to be part of. And it's so funny to me because especially in the Waldorf movement and the attachment parenting movement, we're already going against the grain in a lot of ways. And it's so funny to me how some of our limiting beliefs still crop up. Okay, I got to come over here. I consider myself a pretty positive person, but I didn't realize how many limiting beliefs I would tell myself all day long. Thanks for bringing this to light. You are very welcome. I think that we have to stop and be present. And a lot of people are afraid to be present because when they're present and they slow down, then the limiting beliefs come. And so our job is to really replace those limiting beliefs with something that is a positive belief. So for instance, we already talked about the career one, but how about I am unable to be organized, or I could never keep a good rhythm in our home. So, you have voiced that. Use the stuff we teach. You have a teacher to take you along in that path. Especially if you're a thinking, feeling, willing member. Especially because you have access to me. You're struggling, you ask for help. Gotta ask for help. So there's this place in us. I think especially some women are really good at asking for help. Some women are not. Many women are not. Because we think, especially if we're in this realm of, well, I birthed these kids and now I'm homeschooling and I know everything and la, 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 la. I don't ask for help because then it's shown as weakness. Do you know that weakness is humanity? That's called humility. It's okay to ask for help.
Kelly says, stop putting that negativity into the universe you taught me a long time ago. And Natisha says, yes, my biggest limiting beliefs come from not speaking up and getting tired of being questioned. And then I allow their questions and comments to linger in my head.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And I will say everybody overthinks something. It might be something you said and you're worried that you or offended somebody, or it might be, something somebody said to you and you're like, is that true? So you have to ask yourself, is that true? Is it true that you quit everything? Obviously not, because you have children. You didn't quit pregnancy. You didn't quit being married. You didn't quit, some of us quit being married, but you didn't quit that. So you have to ask yourself, when those limiting beliefs pop up, you have to say, is this true? Is this true? And if it is true, then you have to look at it, be responsible for it, and decide what you want to change. If it's not true, then you just go, bye-bye. I don't need that. Thank you. Voice in my head. That's not me, because my God-realized self would not talk to me that way. So you have to really get dialed into that. So my challenge for you is every time it comes up, ask yourself, is this how my spirit would talk to me? Is it? And if it's not, change it. And if you would not talk to your child that way, well, some of us might. There might be some things that I might say, no, I'm just teasing. If you would not talk to your child that way, or you would be hopping mad if somebody talked to your child that way, don't continue it. This mom says, and I don't even know, you've got a lot of spaces in your name. Is it Melinda? Says, I love you, please come and live with me. Are you in San Diego, Melinda? I'll come hang out with you. So I want you to take the time, don't, even though the series is over, it's over for the public. Thinking, Feeling, Willing is getting a whole mom lesson on mindset, a whole mom lesson on mindset, on, creating yourself this amazing space of, living yourself, your self-actualized self, your actualized self. Too many letters and too many words in there. Living your dream, living your, the purpose that you want to have. So many moms are warriors in so many realms. So many realms. You're the first one to speak up if somebody is racist, sexist. Oh my gosh, that's too Eurocentric. I'm so angry, blah, blah, blah. But you don't talk to yourself very well. So before you go and be the warrior for everybody else, start being the warrior for yourself. Like today. We have to be accountable for ourselves. And we have to realize that every single thing that is going on in our lives has to do with the choices we've made or the choices we've allowed others to make for us. So, make better choices. Anything else over there?
No.
All right, I'm going to close it up. Have a wonderful week. If you want to keep sending me your limiting beliefs, you're welcome to. What I'd love for you to do is send me your success stories. Like, hey, I had a victory over this. Like, I recognized it. Your video helped me. Your podcast helped me recognize that I had these limiting beliefs and I changed them. Those are wonderful emails. All right. You guys have a wonderful week.